In the realm of video game character design, we're witnessing not just an evolution in aesthetics, as those on the left might pretend, but a profound cultural battle that mirrors the broader societal shifts being forced upon us by leftists who have taken control of education, media, and government. This is illustrated by how Western video game companies are seemingly at war with traditional notions of beauty, competence, and heroism, contrasting sharply with the approach taken by their Eastern counterparts in the modern era. We'll get to that in 30 seconds, but let me introduce myself. I'm Mike S. Miller, 32-year veteran of the comic book industry, DC, Marvel, Game of Thrones, Hedge Knight artist, and creator of numerous intellectual properties including Lone Star, available now at lonestarcomic.com. Now I'm here to give my take on where my industry has gone, where the general media landscape has taken our culture over the span of my lifetime, and where I'd like to see it go in the future. I'm not here to hate everything or to assume the worst for clicks, but I am here to fight the culture war, as I have been doing since the AOL message boards were a thing back in 1996. I am that old. If you think the culture is worth saving and worth fighting for, please stick around and join the Blacklist Universe family. We're here to make a difference, and hope you are too. Now, back to the story. Western game developers, under the guise of realism, are increasingly moving away from the portrayal of heroic, idealized figures. This isn't just in gaming. As you may have noticed, this is a trend that has been ubiquitous in entertainment over the past couple decades. In comic books, which is my professional field, it has nearly decimated the entire industry and all of our beloved heroes. In movies, TV, not even board games are immune from this nefarious cultural Marxist intervention into our lives. This shift reflects a deeper societal trend towards undermining the concept of the hero, which is essential for individual aspiration and societal health. Who are we without our heroes? Who do we aspire to be if not for the aspirational? This faux move towards realism is an attempt to inject political narratives, prioritizing diversity over merit or aesthetic appeal. It's deeper than just American game developers don't like beautiful women. This is the pernicious result of the equity in diversity, equity, and inclusion. If everyone can't be beautiful, athletic, successful, or heroic, then no one can. There's a noticeable trend where female characters traditionally depicted as beautiful or heroic are now designed to be less appealing or are stripped of their traditional femininity. I mean, that's one way to put it. You might just say they hit them with the ugly stick a few times until there was nothing to be attracted to or aspiring to be about them at all. It is an assault on beauty itself, suggesting that the celebration of beauty and femininity is somehow regressive or oppressive. But what could be further from the truth? These people are so obsessed with their own failures in life that they want everyone to be a failure so that they can feel good about themselves rather than doing the hard work to better themselves. I look at one real-life example of someone I've been watching fight the battle of obesity for months, maybe years. I don't remember when I started following him, but he's a hero. Dave Dana on X, Twitter, has been posting his progress fighting every day against obesity, and he's lost an enormous amount of weight since he began. He's put in the time and the extraordinary effort to better himself, and he encourages thousands of people to do likewise every day. This uglification is obviously deliberate, aiming to dismantle traditional beauty standards. This may be a shock to some of you, but the root of all this stems from Marxism, more specifically cultural Marxism, where Marx would pit class against class trying to tear down the society through the pipe dream of economic parity. Cultural Marxism deems to do the same by leveling all distinctions, which leads to mediocrity rather than true equity, and certainly nothing near to equality. Equality is a fantasy sold to idealistic children by indoctrinated professors who are completely ignorant of the 100 million people who were killed by people who think just like them in the past century. But I digress. Cultural Marxism seeks to make us all into mindless drones incapable of seeing any value in being good at something, and would absolutely tear down anyone who was better than mediocre at anything. It's why they target beauty, heroics, strength, achievement, success, all the things that build up a society into something worth fighting for and dying for. They want to destroy so that we all live in perpetual gray misery. But hey, at least we'll all be equally miserable. Oddly, and quite ironically I would add, East Asian games designs often champion fantastical elements, including idealized beauty and heroic figures. This approach upholds the value of striving for excellence, where characters are not just representations, but ideals to aspire to. Why do I find that ironic? Because it was East Asia, China in particular, that championed Marxism in the past century, which saw the deaths of upward of 100 million people in pursuit of this equity among citizens. Since then, they have given up pure Marxism for something economically more akin to fascism or a government-controlled market. But still, it is a market. And those producing games like Black Myth Wukong are serving the market and their culture by giving the customer what they yearn for: beauty, heroics, achievement. I know it's just a game, but it's a symptom of an overarching cultural war that the West seems to be losing and the East seems to be adopting. Could this symptom play out into a broader cultural shift where the West ultimately loses the very principles that we were founded on? The poison of Marxist ideology of greed and envy seeping into the very fiber of our existence? Having learned the pain and bloodshed and loss of history from their experiment with Marxism in the past century, is China learning that cultural narratives and shared values, heritage, beauty, heroism, the traditional roles should not only be upheld but celebrated in order to build a better future for its citizens? The world seems to be under a major paradigm shift, and I know this is just one facet of the culture war writ large, but it illustrates a greater problem. Andrew Breitbart used to say that politics is downstream from culture, which is where I cribbed this channel's motto, that culture is downstream from media, because it is. And as we feed our children ideas through media and entertainment, be that games, comic books, TV, movies, YouTube, whatever it is shaping their minds in a way that will directly affect the future of culture and the future of politics. And in the end, the 21st century may be to the West what the 20th century was to the East. And in case you went to public school and don't know your history, that doesn't end well. What do you think? Am I off my rocker? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share. It really does help the algorithm. Anyways, this is Mike. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next video.